What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video, and we have a major update on the Andre to Liverpool transfer story, because the Liverpool Echo and other newspapers are reporting that Liverpool were one of 3 clubs in attendance to scout Andre and other players of Fluminense in the Copa Libertadores final. And also there is already reports coming out that other Premier League clubs are interested in other Fluminense players, like Nino, their centre-back, who is a very good ball-playing centre-back, and he's just entering his prime. He's on his way to Nottingham Forest in the January transfer window. Fluminense will only sell their players after the Club World Cup or the Club World Championship, whatever it is called, which of course the Champions League winners Man City are huge favorites to win, but every confederation, every continent's winners are taking part, so Fluminense will play in that tournament as well after winning the Copa Libertadores. Andre would want to win another trophy with Fluminense, and that's still, I think, at the end of December. But after that is finished, Andre is free to join Liverpool, because, I mean, not as a free transfer, but Fluminense are ready to sell him, because this is where you maximize his value. And apparently Fluminense don't have a preference, they want to sell to the highest bidder. So I think it will come down to who Andre really wants to play for, and also what kind of bids the clubs are putting in. The 3 clubs who reportedly watched Andre in the stands scouting him are Liverpool, Arsenal and Fulham of the Premier League. So if you are excited about this news that Andre is potentially coming to Liverpool in the January transfer window, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you are new around here, and of course please help me keep making these videos by donating via the thanks button below the video, or click the video's link in the video's description to subscribe to my Patreon, where you get additional videos and pictures and a lot more great stuff, Excel spreadsheets for your favorite career mode and everything else. So the defensive midfielder is seen as the last piece of the puzzle for Jurgen Klopp's midfield rebuild, and it was pretty evident against Luton Town that McAllister struggled as a defensive midfielder, as a number 6. I think until January we should play Endo in that position and play McAllister with Dominic Szoboszlai further forward, because that's where McAllister's best position is, and then Andre can replace Endo in our starting 11 in the January from the January onwards. And the latest reports from South America suggest that Liverpool are paying closer attention than it was first believed. This comes from Marcelo Neves of Brazilian outlet Globo, who has claimed that Anfield representatives were sent to the Copa Libertadores final to continue their scouting of Andre. It is heavily implied he will not be continuing with Fluminense in 2024, and already has an agreement in place with Fluminense's president that he can depart in the January transfer window. And according to reports, Andre is worth around 30 million pounds, which is like 35 million euros. Liverpool bid around 20-25 million in the summer transfer window, depending on which report you read. But I think even 30 million pounds for Andre, who is one of the biggest generation talents coming from Brazilian league in terms of midfielders, definitely he's one of the biggest talents. I think that's a decent price, and that's a price that Liverpool are willing to pay. And he's still only 22 years old, so it's a very low risk transfer. And Liverpool already built very good relationships with Fluminense, because we already transferred Alan Rodriguez da Souza from them to Liverpool. He couldn't really play a lot because he didn't get the work permit, so we loaned him out a few times, then we sold him ultimately. And Marcelo Pitaluga, the 3rd or 4th choice goalkeeper, who is from Brazil as well, he's on the Liverpool books, he's hugely talented. We signed him from Fluminense as well. So this good relationship between Fluminense and Liverpool could prove to be a key advantage against other Premier League sides, because Arsenal, Fulham and other clubs interested in Andre, they don't really have a good close relationship with the club Fluminense. And of course we already talked with Fluminense in the summer transfer window, so there is already a connection there. And journalist Pete O'Rourke is reporting that Liverpool are still leading the race for André's signature in the January transfer window. Liverpool still believe they have the best chance of landing Fluminense midfielder André, despite interest from Arsenal and other clubs. Liverpool were frontrunners for André during the summer transfer window, and they saw a number of bids rejected for his services, but I think it was pretty certain that Liverpool will go back for André in the January transfer window. And Liverpool Echo already reported that Liverpool has a personal verbal agreement in place with the Fluminense's president that André can leave the club at the end of their season, which is, I think, at the end of December. And Liverpool have been scouting André for 18 months, for 1.5 years. So this is not a new interest from Liverpool in André. We have been following his career and scouting him for many months. 1.5 years. You don't put in that kind of work if you are not really serious about signing a player. And the scouting reports were really positive, really good. So Jurgen Klopp has given the green light for this transfer to go through probably. And many Liverpool fans also think that André's emotional exchange with the Fluminense coach Diniz after winning the Copa Libertadores final signaled kind of a thank you and goodbye message to the coach, or from the coach to André. His emotional exchange with his coach suggests that this could be his last significant contribution to his boyhood club Fluminense. Fluminense still has 7 matches to play in the Brazilian league. The last match is scheduled for December the 6th. And at the moment they are in 8th place in the Brazilian league, which is a really tough league, and they are a whopping 14 points behind Botafogo, so they are probably not winning the Brazilian league. But winning their first Copa Libertadores title more than makes up for it, because they have never won this trophy. It's a historic season, a historic moment for André and for coach and for everybody connected to that club. And it must have been really hard for the Fluminense coach, and probably that's why he was so emotional, because Liverpool coming in for André, he was fearing that he would lose his best midfielder during the season, especially going into the knockout stages of the Copa Libertadores. You don't want to lose your best midfielder. And without André, probably Fluminense don't make it as Copa Libertadores winners. So he was especially grateful that André decided to keep his word that he gave to the Fluminense president and to the coach, that he will stay until the end of the season despite Liverpool's interest, and probably in exchange for that they will let André leave in the January transfer window, because as a mark of respect, because if you come in for a player, if Liverpool come in for a player, then André would have been understandable if he said yes to that offer, but he was a man of integrity, he was a man of his word, and I think Fluminense respect that a lot, the coach respects that a lot, so they will let André leave for Liverpool hopefully in the January transfer window. And even though André is just 22 years old, he's very mature for his age, and he has a brilliant passing range. He played 120 minutes in the Copa Libertadores final, and he completed 95% of his passes, and he's very good passer of the ball. He has very good vision, and he's capable of running in defense to help in almost every time. And Fluminense play a very unique, very interesting tactical setup where they don't kick the ball long, and André comes very close to the defenders. He asks for the ball and then he builds up play, sometimes taking the ball forward himself, sometimes passing to the wing or to other midfielders, and he's the first man in the build-up and sometimes goes between the 2 centre-backs to start the play. Sometimes when Fluminense needs to get the result, he becomes a left centre-back. I know you guys need a centre-back. João Guilherme said, who actually runs the account Fluminense for foreigners, and he said when he was interviewed about Liverpool's interest that I know you guys need a centre-back, but it's not him. And he said Fluminense in this century has developed Marcelo, the Real Madrid left-back, Thiago Silva, Fabinho. In my opinion, his potential is bigger than Fabinho's. And this is a guy who is a Fluminense fan. He watches them every week. He has the 3rd biggest potential of our youth academy in this century of the past 20 years. There are a lot of Brazilian defensive midfielders doing great right now. Bruno Guimaraes and of course Casemiro. But I think André would be in the fight among them. And what makes Andre so good is his pass quality, his dribbling, his ball recoveries, his defensive notions, and he has some really good attacking talents as well. He doesn't attack frequently because in this system of Fluminense he's not supposed to attack. The way that the coach sets up this team, the centre-backs and one of the defensive midfielders don't attack normally, and all the other players attack. He has to stay in defense to start the plays, to be like the player who protects the back four if Fluminense lose the ball. He is very similar to Fabinho, according to another Fluminense fan. He's a younger player but with a lot of maturity, and now he is a Brazilian national team player. He could be actually a starter, according to the guy who runs the Fluminense for Foreigners account, Joao. He could be a starter for 99% of the teams in the world. At Liverpool, he would start right now in the number 6 role. He's better than Waterriendo, and as a defensive midfielder, he's better than Alexis McAllister, according to this guy. And Joao thinks that Andre will leave. Fluminense did everything they could to keep him, to get the Copa Libertadores, and it was similar to the situation where Liverpool didn't really want to sell Coutinho, but in the end we sold him for a huge amount of money to Barcelona. Fluminense will hold Andre until December, the end of the season, in Brazil, and then they will sell him. Andre is one of the top players in this Fluminense side. He has the trust of players, fans, and most importantly the coach Diniz. He gives good support in defense because he does not give up plays, and also in offense with his vision, providing good passes and goals. Joao compared him to Virgil van Dijk in 2018. That's how important he is for the way the team works. He's the best of the continent in the position. There is no way we can replace him to the same level. And Joao actually predicted that Fluminense will win the final because Boca Juniors weren't playing that well. They actually didn't win a knockout stage game. They got a lot of draws and went through to the final via 3 penalty shootouts in a row, which is pretty amazing. And Jurgen Klopp said that Darwin Nunez, the first chance that he had against Luton, was really well done. Great pass to him, and then the first touch was absolutely top class, and then he nails it onto the crossbar. The whole team was not in a goal-scoring mood against Luton, and that's not helpful. But what makes Darwin really different is that he's involved in pretty much everything. So we are calm. He's always involved, causing trouble for defenses, even on days where he doesn't finish his chances. He's still a work in progress. But even during this development stage, Darwin Nunez is still one of our top scorers, one of our best strikers. So it's worth it to keep him on the pitch, because most often than not he will score. Even when he misses another 2 or 3 chances, he will score 1, 2 or maybe even 3 goals. So I think it's worth persisting with Darwin Nunez, because he's still just 24 years old. He's still growing and developing, and I'm convinced that one day Darwin Nunez will become one of the best strikers in the world, because he has the potential to do it. And if he improves his finishing, he will score an incredible amount of goals. He can become as prolific as Erling Haaland is if he calms down and a little bit more efficient in front of goal, because he's getting as many chances as Erling Haaland in this Liverpool team. So let me know, what do you think about everything that we talked about in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.